Year taxpayer, business owner, or transportation business owner are overpaying on tax, paying way too much money on tax, on the business tax, because they're missing out on tax deduction that they legally qualify for. Matter of fact, 2 million of people will overpay on the tax each year, year over years, because they're missing out. They fail to claim tax deduction that they legally qualify to claim to reduce the taxable income. The reason for that is that sometimes a lot of people, taxpayer, don't know the tax deduction that they qualify for or they can claim. Okay, tax write-off that are overlooked. Sometimes it's the fact that the tax preparer that they go to is not familiar with the industry, the transportation business. So sometimes they end up having a tax preparer that is scared to claim those all the deduction that they legally deserve. So in this video, my goal is to teach you, to show you, first to explain you what is how the tax work, what is tax deduction, what is a tax write-off. Okay, so explaining you in a layman term, a simple way that you can understand and give you example and help you understand what how they impact the tax that you're gonna pay to Uncle Sam, tax you're gonna pay to the IRS on your business revenue. So this video is focused on business owner, business transportation business owner, like somebody who own their own truck, somebody who own a non-emergency medical transportation business, or have a taxi fleet or limousine. So transportation business, somebody who does career delivery or express delivery. So this is, stay tuned and I'm gonna break it down. What it is, tax, how the tax work, the tax bracket, and let's talk about how tax work. Okay, so let me share my screen with you and go over. All right. Okay. All right. So what do you need to, this is example, but what do you need to understand is your business income. That's the income that you receive from doing business, any business. So that's your business income. That's your gross business income. Okay. So that's the money that you're gonna get taxed on if you don't claim any deduction. So deduction, what is the tax deduction in case you're asking? So tax deduction, they also call, is the business expense. So they also call tax write-off. So those are expense, ordinary and necessary expense that you incur for your business. So maybe somebody made 100,000 dollar as a business revenue, business income. That's how much you receive. But to get that money, maybe he spent on doing some promotion, he spent money buying some equipment, fuel, and stuff like that. So those are what is called tax deduction, tax write-off. And they also business expense. So, but it's not all the expenses that you do that you can claim as a business expense. Okay, so don't confuse it with personal expense. So the IRS is clear in that case. They say necessary and ordinary business expense that you incur, that you need to do your business. So somebody who got a truck, a trucking business. Okay. you can claim fuel that you buy for your truck, your semi truck, or your cargo van is a business expense. But if you use that like a cargo van to go, example, on a vacation with your family, and it's not a business trip, you cannot claim the fuel for that. So business expense is necessary and ordinary, because you cannot, somebody who's running a trucking business cannot go buy let's say a yacht and claim that as a necessary, because all the people in the industry are not doing it. So you gotta rate a necessary and ordinary business expense are tax deduction, tax write-off. So they reduce. So business income and business expense tax deduction, we understand that. So those two, when you do business income minus the business deduction, that's what give you your adjusted gross income. That's the money you're gonna pay tax on. Okay, so you can see in this example, so after you take off the tax deduction, the money that you got left for on your business as a business income, that's how much, that's going to determine what tax bracket you are in. So based on your filing statute, is either you filing as a joint. Let me share that with you. So so as you can see here, when you're filing as a single, so the tax bracket, your income will determine what percentage you will pay on your income. Okay. So married filing together, head of household. So in this example, we would take example on somebody who's a head of household. Maybe they got two dependent or one dependent, they have a business, we'll take that example. Okay, so based on how much the person got left after business expense, that will determine what is the percentage they will pay on. So let's go through an example here so you can totally understand. So I'm going to start the beginning here. So let's say a YouTuber or a content creator on Facebook, or some other business owner who doesn't have a lot of tax write-off. So let's say this guy make a business income of 100,000 on creating content, meeting, making videos on YouTube. So YouTube pay him 150,000, but he doesn't know nothing about tax deduction. Or let's just say he did not pay those equipment he used in 2023, he bought them in 2022, so he claimed it. But in 2023, he didn't spend a dime on business expense. So all money he made is profit. So that's what you see here. Tax deduction is zero. So meaning we know that to get the adjusted gross income AGI is business income minus tax deduction. Remember this, I'm not listed the person got a W-2 job. I'm not telling that, we're just focusing to make it the example easy to understand for the person. So let's just say he doesn't have another income, that's his only income, so he doesn't have a business tax deduction. So he's 150,000 minus zero, so that's the same. So when he made 150,000 in 2023, so let's in 2023, okay, so that's how much he make. So let's go back. Oh, oh my goodness, I wasn't sharing. So tax bracket. So I was here. So like I tell you, we're gonna share example. And I'm sorry, didn't switch the screen. So let's say example, like I was saying, a YouTuber, a content creator, he made a video the whole year, and then he did not do any expense. in 2023. So all the equipment he bought for his video creation, he did pay them in 2022. He claimed them. So in 2023, he made 150,000 for making video. He didn't buy anything, so he had zero as a tax deduction. So his adjusted gross income AGI is business income minus tax deduction. Remember, I explained you the tax deduction is what show you how much you're gonna make. Okay, the tax bracket you're gonna be um, falling under. So he made 150,000 in 2023. So that put him in the tax bracket of 20%. So let me show you. Let's go back to that screen. So you see, he made 100. So as a head of household, we're gonna look at on the right, the extreme right. So we see that 100,501 to 191,950. So he fall in this category. So when we look at it, he fall under the 24% tax bracket. Okay. So let's go back to here. So we can see that our YouTuber right here, the tax bracket is 24%. So 150,000 by 24% equal $36,000. So that's how you calculate the tax that you gotta pay on your income in the year. So he or she will pay 36,000 in tax on that income, because remember, that's the only job he did. He doesn't have nothing to claim, no tax deduction. So all the IRS will consider that is all profit, which he is, because he doesn't have a tax deduction. So he fall under 24% bracket, which is $36,000. But let's consider the same income, but it is an owner operator. Okay, for owner operator. All right. So this is an owner operator. He got a business income, the same amount of money, 150,000. But like you remember, business expense equal tax deduction equal tax write-off. So people might use any of those three terms. But I want you to remember to take that to understand that they're the same word. So to find out, and in this case, our business owner operator, he got a tax deduction of 165. Those are like the fuel, the maintenance that he had to do, oil change, all the expense that he did for his trucking business, the owner, or if it's cargo van or non-emergency medical transport. So let's say he did, that's the expense he does, the like business licensing thing that he pay. He got his bookkeeping in order. So those are the expense that he did for his business in 2023. So that make is adjusted gross income to be equal 97,000. So how did I get that? It's just business income minus tax deduction. So 150,000 minus 52,165. So that equal 97. So in this case, because why we take out tax deduction, those are money that the person didn't keep. So the IRS, how tax work, you have to pay tax on the money that you keep for yourself. So that's why people with W2 out of the W-2, they don't have too much deduction. They cannot use business deduction. So, and we all get a standard deduction or itemized. Itemized can be like people who did donation and stuff like that. So that's another thing, but I focus on business expense. So business expense here, to make it simple, he that's his only income. He doesn't have other income. That's the business income, but should not pay tax. And unfortunately, it happened that sometimes people will be paying tax on all of this, or because they don't have the bookkeeping in order, they don't realize that they spend 52,000 in their business. So they just guessing this, and they would guess that they only spend for let's say 30,000. It happened. I've seen over and over business owner doing that mistake, but I was able to help them retrieve it because I'm familiar with this business, the being an owner operator. So I know when somebody is off on the fuel, because uh semi truck owner cannot tell me that they only spend 15,000. That means right there, that's a red flag, and they run all year. That's a red flag that they don't have a good bookkeeping record. So anyway, to go back to our example, so his AGI is 97,835. So that put him in a 20% tax bracket. Let me show you, share my screen, go back to this. So right here we see that our owner operator did 98,000 and some. So that put him on this tax bracket from 63 to 100,000, because he's a head of household. He's not married, he's not a household. So that put him on the 22%. So as on the 22% tax bracket. So when we come back to our example, so it's gonna be 97,000 times 22%, which is 21,000. So you see the difference between the two. This guy, because he claimed all the deduction, all the expense that he did on his business. So that's not money that he keep for himself. So he should not be paying tax on it. So we see that he paid 21,000 while the other guy paid 36,000. So that's 15 or 14,000. Let me get my calculator. Let me do that right quick. 21, mm, 36. Can you math today? Okay, why am I calculating? 36,000 minus 21, 523. So the purse is $14,477 difference between the two. And believe me when I tell you, don't laugh. There is a lot of people that fall in that. They forget to claim business expense. Like I say, in this case, somebody who doesn't have the bookkeeping in shape, they will maybe guess, oh, I just spent about 30,000. Um 30,000. So they will be in the same 30,000. So if there is 30,000 that they say they spend, so it's gonna be 120,000. So let's go back to the tax bracket and see. So you can see here it will put them in 24% tax bracket. So they're getting first higher tax bracket, and then second, that remaining 20,000 that did 20,000 that they did not claim. So it's gonna be, so let's say 120,000, 25%. So you see the difference. They paying here 21,000, while when they having the bookkeeping in older, they will be paying 28,800. Okay, so you see the difference. So guy, watch the video on how, and this is a 7,000 difference. That's money that you can take to take your family to vacation, or buy a car, or even buy a house, put it as a down payment for a house. So don't fall in this. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in the red. So is the tax bracket is 24%. So he paid 28,000 in tax while he could have been paying 21. So you see, so good record keeping, knowing your tax and knowing the deduction that you need to claim are crucial. Okay, so they're really crucial. So learn what you have to, what you can legally claim. It's not rocket science, it's not magic, it's just being organized, know your that you are industry, know the tax write off that you qualify for, and you're gonna make a lot of saving. Okay, so if you again, you are serious about saving on your tax as an owner operator, trucking business owner, cargo van, hot shot, you name it, or non-emergency medical truck, go ahead, click on the link, book your free consultation. Is a tax rescue owner trucker or owner operator tax rescue session is free. We're gonna sit down with you, talk to you, explain to you what are the give you a free estimate, and then go over strategy that you can use to reduce your tax income, because this thing is a global video that I made, but depending on how much the depending the person got what other stuff, because sometimes they can forget, like if you have a home office you can write off those things. There is a lot of things that you can take benefit of tax deduction to reduce your taxable income that we didn't go over. So we just did a basic one the person got, and we just did the part that concern the writer off on the business. But this guy, maybe there is a way to do it that he doesn't pay any tax at all. Okay, so let's get together, book your appointment. Those appointment, we're just giving few free appointment, they're going really fast. Make your appointment and let's talk together, or text or email me or call me on my cell phone number.